Hi everybody, it's Coach Ali. Let's get straight into our mini band workout segment. Now make sure that you've got some clear space around you, free from trip hazards. Fast feet for this exercise, so just switching your weight from your left to your right and just making sure that you go as fast as you can with this one. Now you can see I've gone relatively wide with the resistance bands to try to put that extra bit of pressure on the outside of the thighs. And let's keep working through for the duration of the set. Your turn. Scissor kicks from a seated position for this one. So very important to just try and keep your knees as straight as you can, and then you're just alternating the up-down motion with either leg. Now make sure you try to keep your weight on your butt cheeks and not your tailbone in order to protect it. This will be good work on your hips and your lower abs as well. Your turn to try it.
And I'm down for you always. 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 Gotten deep under my skin, and I still feel your power. You changed my voice, you locked it in, and put out any fire. Still with one touch, you got me where you want me at. It's like a rush, the wish that cushion set me in. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you. And I'm down for you always, KB. Do you love me? Are you riding?
Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises. Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises.
you always. And I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you always.
You've gotten deep under my skin, and I still feel your power. You changed my voice, you locked it in, and put out any fire. Still with one touch, you got me where you want me, yeah. It's like a rush, the waves that crash inside me, yeah.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you. And I'm down for you always, baby. Do you love me? Are you riding?
Gate swings for this exercise. So we're going to get into a wide sumo squat, and then we're going to jump with our feet together and then jump back into that wide sumo squat again. Now make sure as you land on the ball of your feet first so that you keep the pressure off your knees, and then just make sure that they're nice wide gate swings for this exercise. Your turn to try it.
Take a chance, you stupid hoe.
Starting in a supine position, we're working some letter O's. What we're doing is we're starting with our feet connected together and then opening up, drawing a semicircle and connecting back at the top, and then working your way back to the bottom. Now you can see that I've got my head and shoulder blades lifted. This will keep your back nice and flat, so it's going to protect your back, but it's also going to further engage your abdominals. Your turn to try it. Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises.
Chance, you stupid hoe.
mini band around your knees, we're gonna work some jumping jacks. So just make sure that you're landing nice and soft on the ball of your foot. Try and stay light and keep the motion going throughout the set. Your turn to try it.
Like a G6, like a G6.
Working a rollover from that supine position, but you can see that I'm adding a mini candle at the top as well. So what we want to do is just try and keep your knees as straight as you can keep them for this one. And then we're going to kick up and lift, and then with nice control, work your way back into that horizontal position. Your turn to have a go at this one.
Activate your hips and push your ass out. Got a brother wanting it so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, I'ma fly about it. Catch you at the...
Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises.
Like a G6, like a G6.
Activate your hips and push your ass out. Got a brother wanting it so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, I'ma fly about it. Catch you at the...
Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises.
G6, like a G6.
I love the way you activate your hips and push your ass out. Got a brother wanting it so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, I'ma fly about it. Catch you at the
With parallel feet and knees at shoulder width, we're going to work some fast-paced squats. So this is like a traditional squat, but it's got a cardio element to it because of the pace. So we're just going to make sure we keep up with my tempo throughout the set. Your turn to try it.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to...
Working some abs tucks for this one, but you can see that I'm doing it from a seated position. So this is actually more difficult than when you're lying down. And you can see that I'm extending my legs all the way out, just making sure they're wide enough to keep the pressure on the Miniband, and then just bringing it all the way to my chest and extending again. Your turn to try it.
You know you can't deny when I take over, yeah, 'cause something's here tonight.
Let's take a short break and repeat the last two exercises.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to.
When love takes over, yeah, you know you can't deny. When love takes over, yeah, 'cause something's here tonight.
Let's take a short break and repeat the last 2 exercises.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to.
When love takes over, yeah, you know you can't deny. When love takes over, yeah, 'cause something's here tonight.
Working some jackknives for this exercise. So it's basically a half rollover with your legs, and it's an abs crunch with the upper body, so that you can see that my hands and my shin are meeting right in the middle. So when we're lifted, our head and shoulder blades are nice and high, and then we're going to drop everything and get back into that horizontal position. This one's a nice difficult one. Your turn to try it. Prone jacks for this exercise. So it's much like a jumping jack, but it's in a prone position. So you've got half of your weight on your arms, on your elbows, and then the other half on your feet, and it's just a matter of jumping in and jumping out. Your turn to try this one.
You can call my name, and I'll come running back to you. Running back to you. I'll come running back. You can call my name, and I'll come running back to you. Running back. I'll come running back to you.
Who let the dogs out?
Let's take a short break and repeat the last 2 exercises. Standing back extension for this exercise. So the motion, it's much like a stiff leg deadlift. What I've done here is I've put some pressure on the mini bands by opening them right up, and then I'm dropping down, keeping my knees soft straight, and then making sure that my spine remains nice and neutral. So you should get a really good hamstring stretch, and you should get a good contraction of the glutes and the lower back on the way up as well. Your turn to try this one.
So I wanna say thank you, cause it makes me that much stronger. Makes me work a little bit harder, and makes me that much wiser. So thanks for making me a fighter. Made me learn a little bit faster, made my skin a little bit thicker, and makes me that much smarter. So thanks for making me a fighter.
Starting in a seated position with your legs raised and nice and straight, we're going to work some abductions. So we've essentially taken an outer leg exercise and turned it into an abdominal and cardio based legs exercise. Make sure the upper body remains nice and still and try to keep your weight off your tailbone. Your turn to try it.
Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it?
Now, well done for getting through your workout today, guys. Now let's turn our attention to Daphne for some post-workout stretches.
Lying on your belly, place your forearms on the mat just beneath your shoulders. Press your upper body away from the floor and lift your chest up to extend your spine. Keeping the back of your neck long, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Pull your belly button in to your spine, and you should feel a stretch in your abdominals. Hold for 3 to 5 deep breaths. To progress into a deeper stretch, bring your hands back to where your elbows were placed. Press your upper body up all the way, whilst keeping your pelvis still connected to the ground. Remember to engage your abdominals so that you don't feel too much pressure in your lower back. Hold for 3 to 5 deep breaths. Start on your hands and knees. Have your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Lift your knees off the ground and press your chest towards your thigh. Try to straighten your legs completely and lower your heels to the floor. You can alternate with bending one knee and pressing the opposite heel into the ground to stretch each leg individually. Ensure your abdominals are engaged and have your shoulders away from your ears. Hold for 30 seconds. Sitting cross-legged, bring your left leg behind you, straighten your spine and rotate your upper body to your right. You should feel stretch in the left front side of your thigh. Now let's repeat the Sartorius stretch with the other leg. Start in a high kneeling position. Take a big step forward with your right leg. Shift your weight forward until your right knee is directly over your ankle joint. Draw your abs to tuck your pelvis and feel the stretch in the right front side of your pelvis. Hold for 30 seconds. Now let's repeat the psoas and hip flexor stretch on the other leg. Start in 4-point position, keep your hips over your knees. Reach your right arm under your left shoulder and rotate your upper body to thread your arm through. Keep your right palm facing up. Lower your right shoulder to the ground and start shifting your weight gently onto that shoulder. Use your left hand to push into the ground to rotate the upper body more and increase the stretch. Now let's repeat the thoracic rotation on the left side. Lying on your back, reach your right arm out just in line with your shoulder. Bring your right knee up toward your chest as far as you can without your pelvis tucking under. Place your left hand over your right knee and pull the knee across the body, then gently press the knee down towards the ground. Make sure your leg and torso remain in a straight line and try to keep your right shoulder blade on the ground. For more of a spinal twist, turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Hold for 30 seconds. Now let's repeat the pretzel stretch on the other side. Start in 4-point kneeling, sit your weight back onto your heels as far as you can, resting your belly on your thighs. Extend your arms out in front of you in line with your shoulders and rest your forehead on the floor. You'll feel the stretch in your shoulders and back, as well as your hips and glutes, depending on where you're tight. Gently press your chest and shoulders toward the ground to deepen the stretch. Hold for at least 30 seconds.
Great job everybody, well done for finishing your workout. Now if you think your friends will benefit from my method of training, then please share this video with them. See you soon.